Have you ever walked into a room and felt the air leave your lungs? Not because of what you saw, but because of what it meant. It was a Sunday morning, one of those lazy, post-storm kind of mornings. I went to wake my son for breakfast. But when I opened the bedroom door, she was there, lying next to him, my wife, wrapped in the arms of my 23-year-old son like she belonged there. For a second, my mind refused to believe it. And then, like a dam breaking, everything I thought I knew came crashing down. My name is Mark. I'm 49 years old, a high school teacher, a husband of 27 years, and a father to 2 kids. Emily, 26, and Noah, 23. We lived in a quiet suburb just outside of Richmond, Virginia, in a house that echoed with the usual rhythms of an aging family. Coffee brewing at 6 a.m., my wife humming to herself in the kitchen, and the occasional creak of our dog Toby jumping on the couch he wasn't allowed on. My wife, Dana, had always been radiant. The kind of woman who walked into a room and changed its temperature. She had this mix of warmth and wit that made people fall in love with her within 5 minutes. And I did. Head first. At 20 in college, when she spilled coffee on my thesis papers and apologized by baking me banana bread for a month. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it was stable. Or so I thought. Noah had just moved back in after college, trying to figure things out, as he put it. Emily had a fiancé and her own apartment downtown. The house felt fuller again with Noah around. His late-night fridge raids. His loud music in the garage while he worked on his beat-up Honda. And Dana, she was quieter lately. She said menopause was hitting her hard. Sleepless nights, hot flashes, mood swings. I gave her space, rubbed her back when she asked, and tried not to pry too much. But then there were the late-night talks between Dana and Noah in the kitchen. The soft giggles I'd hear when I pretended to sleep. Once or twice I came down and they'd stop talking like kids caught sneaking candy. I chalked it up to nostalgia. A mother enjoying time with her grown son. I was a fool. Started with a shirt. One morning, I saw Noah wearing a gray Columbia hoodie I knew I had bought Dana last Christmas. It wasn't his size, and when I asked about it, he just shrugged. She gave it to me, he said casually, not even making eye contact. Dana, sipping coffee, didn't deny it. Little things began to stack like puzzle pieces cut from different boxes. Dana started skipping family dinners to take long baths. Noah's car was gone at odd hours, once at 3 a.m., but somehow Dana wasn't in bed those nights either. Still I doubted myself. What kind of man suspects that of his wife and son? Who even thinks that way? One night I came home earlier than expected from a school board meeting. The house was dimly lit, eerily quiet. I heard the soft, unmistakable thrum of the dryer in the basement. I went down, and found only women's lingerie inside. Dana's. But she hadn't done laundry in months. My hands shook. I stared at the tumbling fabric like it might rearrange itself into an explanation that made sense. I confronted Dana that night. "What's going on between you and Noah?" She blinked. Her lips parted slightly, and for a second, her eyes filled with something, guilt? Sadness. "You're being paranoid," she said almost gently. "He's my son. Our son." I felt like I was drowning in my own house. But I stopped pushing. Maybe because I didn't want to hear it out loud. Maybe because I still wanted to believe she loved me. And then came Sunday morning. I had gone to church with Emily. Dana said she was tired and Noah had stayed home. Emily and I stopped for bagels on the way back. I let myself into the house, humming absently, balancing coffee cups and paper bags. "Go wake your brother," I said to Emily. "He'll want breakfast." She went upstairs. A minute later I heard her scream. Ran. Her face was pale, tears springing from her eyes as she stood at Noah's door. "Don't go in there, Dad. Don't." But I already had. And there they were. Dana asleep or pretending to be. Noah shirtless. Their limbs tangled like lovers. Like strangers who had known each other in ways I would never recover from. The room was thick with silence, but it roared in my ears. Dana stirred, blinked, and saw me. Her eyes widened, then softened with something that made my stomach turn. Resignation. Noah sat up, slow, groggy, But when his eyes met mine, he didn't look surprised. He looked relieved. "Dad," he said. "We were going to tell you." I didn't speak. My throat closed. Dana sat up, wrapped the sheet around her, as if modesty still mattered. "It didn't start like this," she said softly. "It started when you stopped seeing me." Flinch. She went on. "I was lonely. You were always busy. Always tired. He was here." He listened. "You're talking about our son," I said, my voice breaking. "You're trying to justify this." Noah's voice rose. "You weren't there for her, Dad. You checked out. You treated her like she was furniture." I looked at him. My boy, the one I'd coached in baseball, whose scraped knees I'd patched up, whose nightmares I'd chased away. And now, this man I didn't recognize was lecturing me on being a husband, while still lying in my bed with my wife. I stumbled back out the door, past Emily who was curled on the hallway floor, sobbing. For the first time in my life, I didn't know what to do. Left. Drove for hours. Parked by a lake we used to picnic at, and watched the sky shift from orange to black. I thought of all the little moments I had missed. Of the smiles I stopped giving, the conversations I didn't have. Maybe I had drifted. Maybe Dana had felt unseen. But nothing could justify that betrayal. When I returned home that night, their bags were already packed. Dana looked at me one last time from the porch. "I loved you," she whispered. "But I needed to feel alive again." She left with Noah, my son. It's been 2 years now. I haven't spoken to Dana since that day. Noah tried once. He emailed me something long, tearful, apologetic. I deleted it unread. Emily stayed with me for a while. We rebuilt. Slowly. We laugh again. We go to therapy. We talk about the past like a ghost that visits but doesn't stay. People ask what happened to Dana and Noah. I say they moved away. It's the truth, just not the whole truth. Some days, the silence in the house feels peaceful. Other days, it echoes too loudly with memories. But I've learned something. You can do everything right or think you are and still lose the people you love. You can be blindsided not because you weren't looking, but because you trusted they were still there. I don't know if what Dana and Noah did was love or something broken disguised as it. I don't think I'll ever fully understand it. And maybe I'm not supposed to. But I survived it. And every morning when I make coffee and feel the light stream in through the window, I remind myself, what broke me didn't kill me. And what's left of me is still worth something. Even without her. Even without him. I'm still here. And that matters.